Hey guys, have you heard about the case of little Bella? She lived in Brighton, a suburb of Detroit, and just a couple of weeks ago, Bella's mommy gave her some sort of medicine in her drink that made her either drowsy or go to sleep. And then her mommy strangled her before committing suicide. Bella's daddy fought hard to protect her, and he got nowhere at all. He had photos of bruises. He voiced his concerns, and nobody helped him protect poor little Bella. When are we going to start looking at these cases through gender-free lenses? Is it because Bella's daddy was male that nobody listened? He tried to protect his daughter, and he didn't have any help. He was right all along, but nobody believed him. And now poor little Bella, at just 5 years old, 5 years old, is no longer alive to spend every other weekend with her dad. The news anchor who presented this story said at the end of his broadcast that it looks like mental illness was at the center of this case. Bella's life could have been spared had it been the other way around. Had her mother claimed that her father was abusing her? Had her mother had photos of bruises? You can bet. You can just bet that she would have been heard. But it was Bella's dad who had the photos of the bruises. It was Bella's dad who was pleading for help. And he ended up with every other weekend with his daughter. I think the pendulum has swung way too far in the opposite direction from where it was back in 1994 when the Violence Against Women and Children Act was passed. And it became basically mandatory for the authorities to care about domestic violence and child abuse. But now it seems that, like I said, the pendulum has swung so far that it looks like instead of women and children being abused, now men and children are being abused. And just like how it was before VAWA was passed, when women and children were not being heard, now that the pendulum has swung so far in the opposite direction, it looks like men and children are not being heard. This needs to change. Instead of women's shelters, we need family shelters. And when there are accusations of abuse, when there is evidence of abuse, as there was in this case, then we need to have trained professionals who are able to look past gender when investigating a case. Bella's dad deserved to be heard, and Bella deserved to be safe in her own home.